There we go, Obie. You ready for your big brush? Are you ready for your big brush, my lad? Oops, not that one. Not that one. Where is? Oh, there it is. Good evening, everyone. Hello and welcome to the show. I just want to make sure I put not that one. This one. Got Debbie's little pups here. The two girls with their little snowflake uniforms on, and I thought they looked really cute. So after the bath, we've got the brushing to do now. Now I haven't given them much of a brush over the past day. It really took it out of me. And because we're getting such a change in the weather here, it's very cold. But I want to start a new series on the show, and that's about missing people. I find stories of this type of nature incredibly interesting. I mean, at the end of the day, it's somebody that's disappeared, somebody that's disappeared off the face of the earth. Never any sign, nothing ever found. And the person I'm talking about is a lady who was 96 years old. She had Alzheimer's, but she was a native of Brighton, and she regularly used the buses. And on the 24th of April 2012, roughly a few months before I actually moved back to Brighton, and I remember Nicola telling me back then an old lady disappeared over in Elm Grove. Now Elm Grove is, let me show you where Elm Grove is. Okay, right, let me open up this screen here. Right, this is Elm Grove here. It goes right through Brighton. And this is a level park. This is where I used to meet a lot of smokers. If you wanted to get a bit of weed or whatever, this was the place you come. And generally the crowd that's there are decent people. And obviously there's a university, but also right on the corner here, in this part here, leading all the way up Elm Grove, it's somewhere along here this woman's disappeared. And no, this is the lady in question. This is from 2012. I mean, this was the last photos of her, and this is what she disappeared in. And as you can tell by the photograph, she is actually quite frail. And remember, she had onset Alzheimer's, but at 96-year-old, it's quite an age. But she was sprightly, fiercely independent. And these are what Dave Polides calls points of interest. Very gregarious, very outgoing, very well travelled lady. And Elm Grove, as you can see from the map, is quite a long hill, and it does lead up onto the South Downs all the way up here. It goes up here. And this is the race course where all the horses are, and you see it sort of spins right round here. And I get up and down this road all the time because all the friends that I had are in Whitehall, which is Wilson Avenue here, down. And as I've said before and repeatedly, funny enough, there's a cemetery right next door to it. But the thing is, all this area is downs. You can't grow anything on it because all you can grow is grass. Only grass will grow on it. And that is because chalk down is no more than 2 foot underground. So there's no way somebody could bury somebody and they disappear. But also, if you look back at Preston Park, where the nearest biggest park is here, and that's roughly about half a mile from here, the level going upward towards Elm Grove. But Elm Grove itself, it's all really close-knit properties where everybody sees into everybody's back garden. And remember, not a single trace of this lady's ever been found. And it's coming up the 8th year anniversary now. Now, one thing I really love about when Oberon's had a bath is how easy the hair is to comb, because it's been really richly shampooed and stuff, and the hair is so much easier to manage. I mean, as you can tell, he doesn't like getting these like me. I felt a little bit of tug in the hair there. There we go. And what I'm doing with the ears is I'm fanning them out. Now there's another case that I think I've watched just about every video David Paulides has watched. And this one I found, and I remember this case wasn't very long ago, but what I'll do is, in the chat, what I'll do is I will post, what do you call it, a link. There we go. Copy. If you look at this, let me just turn that off for a second and put that in here. Hi Debbie, nice to see you. Oops. Now, in most people's mind, that case that I just posted up is very relevant because it only happened last year. And it was a young girl in Madagascar who was found 10 days later, deceased of course. But it means that this girl was supposedly walking through Madagascar jungles for 10 days. She was 15, but she was learning disabilities. And one of the things that David Paulides picked up on was her feet. When they found the body, her feet had no scratches, no abrasions or anything. So how could somebody walk for 10 days through a jungle and not have any damage on their feet? You see what's strange about it? Same thing with Nellie here. Nellie just disappeared. She just didn't disappear. Everything is gone. The only thing I could add to this after reading all the case notes and stuff is, what was the other buses coming down the hill? Because most buses film the outside of the bus as well. So I wondered if they looked back on the day when Nellie did they get all the buses that was coming down there, because you've got the 22, you've got the 2, and plus you've got the Bristol Estate buses all coming up and down that hill, and all of them are supposed to have CCTV, even back in 2012. So I will actually ask, because apparently you can actually ask on Twitter the police for information. So I might ask them, did they ever check on the other buses that was coming up and down the hill around about the time, say up to an hour after she was last seen? But I think the police would have probably checked on something like that, but I don't know. It's the thing that's bugged me about it. Because let's face it, CCTV's everywhere, isn't it? But for long stretches, especially because up Elm Grove, you've got all the hospital buildings here. Now, there was a lot of renovation work being done about the hospitals at that time. And there is a psychiatric unit attached to it, but I don't know exactly what psychiatric case it is. It won't be any sort of secure unit. Usually, if somebody's on a level 1 or level 2 observation, it's usually within a closed environment. So other things up that hill, like I said, there's the race course, there's lots of bushes and stuff. Now another interesting thing, when the police went to Nellie's flat, they found her purse, her bus pass and everything. So how was she able to get from her property to Elm Grove if she didn't have her wallet, if she didn't have her bus pass? You see what I'm saying? There's something not right about it. And this is something that I find an awful lot, especially when hunters or people that really love the outdoors. When it comes to the land, I'm very Native American in that sense, that you respect the land, and the land in turn will respect you and whatever spirits are there and thereabouts. But the thing about Nellie is, where the cases in America are at like national parks, like Crater Lake, the Pine Barrens, all those places where people disappear. It's just interesting, the parks don't actually keep a list of people who go missing in national parks. David Paulides has got over 1,600 in all his books. And the books are fact based, they're not speculation, and they're not aliens, they're not cryptids or ghosts or anything like that. It's just all the facts, all the mitigating circumstances. Like, how can an 82-year-old man who was out looking for opals, and he was 82, but he had lots of operations on his knees, but apparently he got up and just walked away and never found again, including all his tools. So do have a look at that, or you'll be very, very surprised. Now, as you see, even though he's had the bath, but you see how easy the hair just comes out. Yeah, it comes out so easy. It does. What a big fluffy boy. Oh yeah, a scratchy spot. Yeah, oh, is it a scratchy spot? Ooh. I'm just gently placing the brush on him and just taking it up. Because he's had a bath, his hair's in really good condition, which is good. And I think tomorrow's Sunday, isn't it? I think, I'm not sure, I don't even know what day it is. Crotched. I keep wanting to get Nicole Ladwick to do a Zoom conference with us all, and we could all do something like crochet together. So I wouldn't mind learning to crochet again. Anything to keep the fingers busy. Although this one keeps me very busy. Mister. He had a nice big rump steak today with lashings of grated carrot with a little bit of cheese and an egg, and cut it up for him. I think it was gone within about a minute. Doesn't take long, does it? Big rump steak, just straight down. Mister. Eh? Mister. Oh, is Anita in there? Hi, Anita. So yeah, look up on that. I mean, it's interesting. And if anything, we shouldn't forget this lady at all. I mean, this was the Argos sort of like recently. This was a year after. Happy go lucky. I mean, this was like 2 years before, and you've seen that she's lost a lot of weight, but she's very much a cat person. That reminds me of Mew, that cat. See, this is here's the discrepancy. In one report it says it was Elm Grove, but in this one, bus at Whitehawk exactly a year ago yesterday. So I will show you where Whitehawk is. Should we take it here? Yeah, right, that's Whitehawk. This is where all my friends stay. Now this is where I was told that it happened. I'll show you the exact spot. Where's the wee man? Just down a little bit. Stay there. That's it. Right there. Right, this is Brighton Hove buses. And one of the buses, this is where she got off. Now, all the buses on the one side in particular are all modern buses. They all have cameras. Every single one of them. But the thing is, there's a limited amount of buses that go up Whitehawk, and mostly they're the 1A, the 21A, and the 21. Now this is roughly the area where she disappeared. This is actually the bus stop right here. This is where they says they last seen her. Now if Ellie and Harry's about, this is their little house here they had. This is where Harry, but this is where the last spot they reckon she was. Right next to Bertie's Barbers. But yeah. Oh no, sorry. There's bus stop there. It's cause Whitehawk is always full of buses. Right, here we go. There we are. Right, this is where she was last seen, right about this spot where the cursor is. Now my friends Harry and Ellie used to stay in there. And all those gardens, there's nowhere you could hide a body. Because there is no gardens behind them. There's property no more than maybe 30 foot straight across from you. And they're always looking down, so the only place she could have went and been completely off cameras is go up the side here. Now going up the side here, there's an interesting place which I stayed in for a long time. It's just right up the top here. Here we go. This is called East Park. This is the only place she could have come to. But this place is always, this is where the helicopters land, especially like air sea rescue helicopters, the air ambulance. This is where it comes to, so the ambulances come here because just direct, oops. Just directly right, if you kept walking straight on, it will take you straight up to the hospital. But this is quite an eerie place. As I said, this is when me and Oberon were homeless. Yeah. When me and Oberon were homeless, this is where we stayed for roughly 6 weeks. And there's an eerie atmosphere in that park. and I don't know if it's to do with the stone, because I think there's water deposits underneath there, but right underneath all the chalk, and it's a really eerie place. And for some reason, when it gets really windy, that's the place people go to actually fly their kites, because the wind draft through there and the noise that the wind makes going through the trees. It's very eerie, but very magical. Beautiful place. But yeah, that's where me and Oberon spent from, I think, 15th of February right up to the 18th of March when I got a property. And I was, no way I can get right over there, but right over behind where you can see the goalposts here, that's where I was, right there, right where the cursor is where I actually got a call in the morning from the council saying that they found a place that would take Kobe. Right there. And it was raining. But I was just so happy. That was the first time I already had the onset of pneumonia. And I was getting angina attacks, obviously, quite regularly. But we went to Eastbourne and I was so tired. When I got into the room, I just laid on the floor and I fell asleep with the rucksack still on my bloody back. Woke up a few hours later, felt terrible, and then just got myself back to health again, and here we are. But yeah, I love this part, but I think there is something very eerie about it. I mean, just the wind, how the wind whips round it. And remember, one of the nights it was pissing a rain, and again, really high winds, and I get dragged right across the field because my hand get caught in the pop-up tent, which if I'd zipped it up it would have been half as bad, but because I had it unzipped, the wind just got right inside it, and this little monkey was chasing me. I think I was playing a game, barking his head off. But yeah, so do have a look at that link and the things, and it'll make you think. And also, if you know people like the outdoors that are hunters, especially in America, get them make sure they wear a personal locator beacon. Every one of them, every time. Proven fact in America, as Dave Politis says, if you're in national forest, you go in with an arm, or bear spray and an arm, and a personal locator, and not one person has disappeared that's got those components, because getting in with a personal locator beacon is basically saying, I'm coming out of here. Yeah? So just think about that. And I'll keep going to that one. But yeah, and just remember this, lady. Nothing's been found. It's just disappeared. People don't disappear. There's always some trace somewhere. And I will ask the police about, did they check all the bus cameras? They probably have, but I think for my own sort of peace of mind,